Hello everyone, welcome to Lesson 3, Permutations Explained for the QGAA Specialist Mathematics Unit 1 Combinatorics. So that by the end of this video, you should be able to explain what a permutation is, recognize situations where order matters, use factorial notation correctly, calculate permutations of all objects, and calculate permutations of some objects as well. So section A, understanding order. Question 1 says, explain what is meant by the statement order matters in counting problems. Okay, it basically means that different arrangements of the same items are considered different outcomes. Okay, so for example, AB is different to BA. Okay, so if we place A and then B, that is a different outcome to placing B and then A. Okay, so that's where order matters. All right, so first, second, those places matter. Okay, so it's not just that we're selecting A and B, but it's actually how we arrange A and B. Okay, so question 2, for each situation below, state whether order matters and give a brief reason. So arranging books on a bookshelf, yes, order matters. Okay, so yes, because the position of each book affects its arrangement. Okay, choosing a committee of students, order does not necessarily matter because we only care about who is on the committee and not the order. Okay, and part C, awarding gold, silver, and bronze medals. Well, this is yes, order does matter because each position, first, second, and third, is basically different, right? And so there is some sort of arrangement there, all right? So basically, I guess you get the idea that if it says arrange, then that's where order matters. Okay, if it says choosing, then order does not matter. Okay, so order does not matter. Okay, again, choosing 3 different ice cream flavors. Okay, because we have the word choosing, then it's safe to say that no, because only choosing, and we are not arranging these things. All right, so moving on to section B, factorials. All right, so question 3, we have to evaluate 4 factorial. All right, so 4 factorial, basically what a factorial is. So if we take n factorial, it just basically means we're taking n times n minus 1 times n minus 2, and we keep going, all right, until we reach that sort of endpoint where we sort of end up with 1, right? Right, so for example, 4 factorial, we do 4 times 4 minus 1, which is 3, times 4 minus 2, which is 2. Okay, and we just keep going down in our numbers So 4, 3, 2, 1, but we're multiplying those numbers through, okay? So that's going to equal 12 times 2, which is 24. 6 factorial, okay? Similar thing, we're just doing 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1, okay, which equals 6 times 5 is 30, times 4 times 3 times 2. I know that is, the 4 factorial, so that's 24, okay? Now if I pretend there wasn't a 0 here, then 24 times 3, that's 72, okay? But I do have a 0 in my 30, so I add that 0 back on. So the answer is 720. 7 factorial, okay, is 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Again, same strategy. We know what 6 factorial is. That's equal to 720. Just multiply that by 7, okay, and I get my answer. So if I do a bit of side multiplication here, all right, so that's going to be 0 times 7 is 0. 7 times 2 is 14, so I put a 4 down and carry on the 1. 7 times 7 is 49, plus 1, 50. Okay, so my answer is 5,040. Now explain why 5 factorial represents the number of ways to arrange 5 distinct objects. Okay, so how I like to do this is I like to do it in my sort of box method. Okay, so imagine we have 5 boxes, right? Because we need to arrange 5 distinct objects. All right, so say we have like 5 distinct objects, okay? So in the first spot, so first, second, I'll just number these because we are talking about arranging, so order matters, okay? So in the first box, I have 5 different possible objects that I can put in there, okay? Because I haven't arranged anything yet. I have 5 different possibilities for that first box, okay? However, in the second box, once I already put 1 in for my first box, so let's say I already put 1 in for the first box, then how many objects do I have left over? I have 5 minus 1 objects left over for my second box that I can choose from. So I have 4 objects to choose from to put in my second box. And we keep going, right? So once we use the first and second box, right, we have 3 objects left, and then 2 and then 1, okay? And remember from the previous lesson, previous lessons, right? The multiplication principle tells us that if we're arranging 5 distinct objects and doing that simultaneously, then we need to use our AND or multiplication rule to calculate those number of ways, right? So in other words, this is just 5 factorial, right? Because we're doing 5 multiplied by all the whole numbers below that until 1. So that sort of explains why 5 factorial represents the number of ways to arrange 5 distinct objects. Okay, so section C, permutations of all objects. So how many different arrangements are possible for the letters in the word math? Okay, so remember our box method. All right, we have 4 different letters. Okay, so we have 4 possible letters we can put in the first letter. 3, 2, 1, which is 4 factorial, which is 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 is 24, times 1 is obviously 24. So that's the number of different arrangements that are possible. All right, so 5 students line up for a photograph. How many different orders are possible? Well, same thing, okay? 5 factorial, because all these students are different. And so we would do 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20, times 3 times 2, I'll leave out the 1. 20 times 3 is 60, times 2 is 120. Okay, so those are the, there are 120 different orders that are possible there. Section D, permutations of some objects. Okay, so how many ways can a president, vice president, and secretary be chosen from a group of 8 people? Okay, so we have 1, 2, and 3 positions, right? So 3 positions for the committee. Okay, and I guess assuming that we can't have multiple positions, all right, in the committee, then we use our box method again, all right, but we only have 3 positions instead of 8. Okay, so we have 8 times 7 times 6, and that's it, all right? So 8 times 7 times 6, well, I'll do 56 times 6, okay, and I'll do a bit of working out here. 336 ways that you can choose president, vice president, and secretary from a group of 8 people. All right, so same thing here. All right, we have a code, right? So it's 3 different letters. All right, so we can't repeat some. So that means that we're going to be, again, going down in our numbers. Okay, because once we use our first distinct letter in the first sort of character of the code, then we only have 9 left and then 8 left, right? So that's going to give me 720 different codes that are possible. So let's identify some common mistakes. A student claims choosing 3 people from 10 is the same as arranging 3 people from 10. Okay, so is this statement correct? No. All right. And we have to also explain the difference between selection and arrangement. Okay, so again, selection is all about where order does not matter. Okay, and in combinatorics, the technical word is combinations. Okay, that's where we use our NCR for that. Okay, however, arrangement is order does matter. Okay, and so we would sort of have more outcomes there, right? So the technical word there is permutations. Yep. Okay, and we use NPR for that. All right, cool. A way I like to remember it is that NCR, C stands for choose. Okay, like combinations, but permutations is the other one where order does matter. Okay, and you need to arrange those different items. All right, so section F, exam style problem, question 10. How many different ways can the letters A, B, C, D, and E be arranged so that all 5 letters are used? Okay, so in that case, we would do 5 factorial, okay, because we have our box method again, right? You get the point. So that's going to give me 120. And then part B, if only 3 letters are used, again, I'll just repeat the box method. Never fails for me, personally. So 5 times 4 times 3. Okay, so that's going to give me 60. All right, so here's a reminder. A permutation counts arrangements where order matters. For n distinct objects arranged R at a time, we use this formula. Okay, so this is sort of combines now our skill of factorials, you know, the exclamation mark here, and also, you know, the permutation part as well. So yeah, and I believe this is on the formula sheet. Maybe I'll double check that, but yeah, I believe I'll just quickly check if it was on the formula sheet as of the class of 2026. Yes, it is on the formula sheet under additional statistics for specialist mathematics. Okay, and it even is very nice. It wasn't this nice when I was doing year 12, but they even give sort of an explanation of what that actually means, so in case you forget about factorials, you sort of know as well. You have multiple options there. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope that helps with permutations.